Shampoo is the worst.
Shampoo is the worst.
Shampoo is the worst. A hair loss shampoo will do nothing for you.
Nothing for you.
Nothing for you. It's on your scalp for 1 minute, 2 minutes. It does not do anything. You've lost the hair follicle and the hair follicle is dead. Minoxidil will not do anything.
Will not work.
But finasteride can also regrow hair at that point.
Oh, that's
Well, for this treatment. I mean, we introduced this technology in India back in 1988. So, hair patch, is one of our, we were the first in the country to actually go ahead and start doing it.
male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
What about the females?
So, female pattern hair, do they lose weight much lesser than men?
And why is that?
Because it's not a genetic element there. It's mostly nutritional.
Okay. Today we have a very special guest amongst us who's an expert in helping people restore their confidence through hair and aesthetic procedures.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great, Arpit. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and Berkowits Hair and Skin Clinics?
Sure. As you guys know, I'm Arpit Goel. I am the CEO of Berkowits Hair and Skin Clinics. We are a chain of 21 clinics right now across India. We do hair transplants, hair loss treatments, laser hair reductions, and we've been pioneers for non-surgical hair replacement, permanent hair reduction in India. So yeah, the journey for us goes back to almost 35 years.
Wow. 35 years.
Yeah.
You're not that old.
No, I'm not that old, yes. So this is a company that was started by someone else.
Yeah.
No, my mom ran it for some time, and then I was always interested in this industry growing up. So I decided that I'll also build a career here.
That's wonderful. And Berkowits is synonymous with hair, and you've now ventured into skin is what I'm aware of. Hair is something everybody talks about hair. Everybody starts losing hair at some point, right?
Not everybody.
Not everybody?
I think you and I will probably never lose hair.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I can be sure about myself, but maybe
I don't know. Yeah, but I think it's such a topic that a lot of people discuss this topic. A lot of people are intrigued by hair loss ho raha hai. How do I deal with hair loss? Or I'm losing hair much faster than I thought I would or I should. I think a lot of people believe what we discussed that, I won't lose hair. But when you start losing hair, then you start reading about it. Then you want to know kya kare iska, how to regrow. So tell us about that journey. What is hair loss? Ye kab hota hai? How do people deal with this typically?
Yeah. So there are multiple reasons why hair loss happens.
Right.
The most common one, especially for men, would be genetic. It's called androgenetic alopecia, the medical term for it.
Right.
And it's basically just a gene in your body that starts making this enzyme called DHT, which goes and sits on top of your hair root.
Okay.
And just starts blocking blood flow. In layman's language, this is as simplified version as I can probably put. And the hair follicle eventually starts shrinking and eventually disappears. So this is genetic hair loss.
This is male pattern
baldness.
This is what
it is. Yes.
Oh, okay. And when people start, at the onset, what are the options that you have once you get to know? And I think there are various stages that you classify people into.
Yeah.
So can you walk our viewers through the process that, let's say you get to know that you have, this male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
What are your options? How do you tackle this problem?
So first, I think it's important to understand how to differentiate male pattern baldness from maybe other forms of hair loss like telogen effluvium and others. Any hair loss that's happening in men in a horseshoe shape, which is like your temples are receding first and you have this horseshoe hair, is male pattern baldness almost always.
Okay.
So this is, or one way to see this is that do you have any relatives? Do you have maybe your uncles, maybe your father, maybe your grandfathers, maternal grandfather, maternal uncles who have hair loss? If they do, then you're at risk for androgenetic alopecia as well. Now that we are aware that yes, we might be at risk, and we started identifying the early signs of hair loss, which is temples are receding, we can start taking action at that point. I think one of the major problems that people, one of the most common problems that I've faced people go through is that they start the first go with FMCG products. So the first line of defense is I'll go and buy a hair loss oil.
Shampoo.
Shampoo is the worst.
Shampoo is the worst.
Shampoo is the worst. A hair loss shampoo will do nothing for you.
Nothing for you.
Nothing for you. It's on your scalp for 1 minute, 2 minutes. It does not do anything. You just feel good that I am doing something about it.
So this entire industry
Yes.
is preying on ignorance.
Yes, ignorance and the fact that there is a need for this. Like people do want to go ahead and treat their hair loss, but they don't want to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
So they're operating in that very gray area. Yeah.
So in the pecking order, there is a hair oil.
Yeah.
Then there is this grandma concoction that somebody may advise you.
Yeah.
कि ये कर लो, वो use कर लो.
Yeah.
There are shampoos.
Yeah.
What other things people resort to?
I mean, onions apparently.
Okay.
But no, I mean, these, they don't have any allopathic studies. I mean, let me just put it that way, that show that yes, there is a substantial improvement in hair loss after using them, whether that's onion hair oil, whether that's coconut hair oil. So there are some studies to do with amla and shikakai and all, but that's also in, like there's a mix and like the data is very less. But mostly the data is around allopathic medicines. These can be your minoxidils. There are obviously finasterides, and then we have new age treatments which are non-invasive, like lasers, like PRPs, like derma rollers. So these are all new age treatments that we have studies to say that yes, they work on hair loss.
So you talked about minoxidil.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of D2C brands today, and suddenly hair has become that category that every fortnight there is a D2C brand saying that grow your hair in 14 days.
Yeah.
And most of them have minoxidil, finasteride, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell our viewers a little bit more about this? Are these steroids? Is the first question that comes to the mind of people, right?
So they're not steroids, but yes, they are medicines. They're prescription drugs. You can't buy them off the shelf. You should be careful about it. You need to talk to a doctor before starting to take minoxidil or finasteride.
Okay.
Yes, they're relatively safe. They're 99% without side effects. But yes, you need to talk to a doctor for the 5%.
Right.
A minoxidil is a US FDA approved treatment, and so is finasteride. Minoxidil will, what it does is it dilates your blood vessels around the hair, and that sort of
promotes blood flow.
Which
is the base cause you said.
Yeah.
Root cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that starts, I mean, as long as you use it, your hair will...
And what about finasteride? What does that do?
So finasteride, interestingly, is a medicine that they were trying to develop for prostate.
Okay.
And they noticed that one of the side effects was that it grew hair. And so it's actually interestingly the only US FDA approved medicine for regrowing hair.
I see.
So everything else is for stopping hair loss. Even minoxidil will stop hair loss and maybe reverse shrunk hair follicles to their original size. But wherever you've lost the hair follicle and the hair follicle is dead, minoxidil will not do anything.
Will not work.
But finasteride can also regrow hair at that point.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you were saying a lot of people just don't want to try these, maybe tested methods, and they resort to stuff which is like, somebody tells you something.
Definitely. I think the main, it's not like they're not without side effects. So that is a concern that anyway we have, especially in Eastern, places of the world like India.
Yeah.
We tend to resort more to traditional medicines. And I feel that there are new age treatments which are anyway combinations of acupuncture. Like I said, there is laser, which are not that invasive, very safe. So I would suggest, yes, as the first line of defense, sure, a treatment like minoxidil, maybe try and have supplements. But if that doesn't work, then definitely opt for a clinical treatment.
Clinical treatment. Yeah. Which you said is like rollers or something.
Yeah. So we have, there are multiple ways, multiple treatments. One of them is platelet-rich plasma.
Okay.
Then
PRP,
PRP.
Okay.
Then there is LLLT, which is low-level laser therapy, which is just a beam of cold laser.
Okay.
Which is...
Platelet is your blood, then platelets, and then you inject, right?
So what we do with platelet-rich plasma is that we extract like around 10-15 ml of blood.
Right.
We spin it in a centrifuge, and then we separate platelets, white blood cells, and RBCs. And then platelets are responsible for healing their growth. They contain the growth factors in the blood. So now this concoction is injected directly into the scalp.
Okay.
So it sort of promotes hair growth. and we've seen that it has great effects.
And how long is this process? Like how many weeks, months, like how much?
So approximately within 3 months is when you'll start seeing hair growth, and by 6 months you'll see like, yes, now you have a good enough result for you to notice from your bare eyes. Yeah.
Wow. And are those results permanent?
You will always need maintenance, no matter with whatever treatment you opt for. When it comes to androgenetic alopecia, there is no like magic wand. You have to maintain your results because you're fighting your genes essentially. So one analogy that I like to give people is that think of it like brushing your teeth, right? Now that's a habit that you've inculcated every day and you do not go without it
Right.
Now one step, 10 minutes of your day, 15 minutes of your day, maybe 5 minutes of your day, will have to go towards hair loss management.
Right. No, I think that's very interesting. It's very nice of you to say that to people because I can tell you, and I want to tell our viewers, a lot of people would just say, no, just take this treatment and you will be good for X number of years, right? But you're saying that if you have androgenetic alopecia, you will need to reconcile with the fact that you'll have to take continuous care and effective steps to manage and mitigate and ring fence and whatever the situation.
100%. As long as you want hair, you'll have to do something about it.
Okay, wonderful. That's very nice and that's very clear.
Yeah.
And on this note, I think this topic of a person losing hair, there are so many people around us who lose hair, but I think it's been taboo in the Indian context. Suddenly you start losing hair, you feel bad, and that reminds me of this Ayushmann Khurrana movie, Bala. I think it came out in 2019. It was a dark comedy.
Yeah.
It suddenly became a rage because this guy was losing hair and he had a ton of problems because I believe losing hair is not only a physical problem. It becomes a psychological equivalent problem at some stage. You start thinking about it. Your interactions with the society, they may undergo a change. You may suddenly start feeling less about yourself as compared to what you thought you were.
Yeah.
So have you seen this with people?
No, definitely. With the early baldness, especially with kids as young as 21, 22, maybe in school, going bald and having to suffer through hair loss. It's a big problem. And
is it happening with people that young?
Yeah. We have clients as young as 19, 20.
Losing hair,
yeah. And some have lost complete hair by 24, 23.
That's crazy.
Even in engineering colleges, they've lost all hair.
And all of this you want to attribute this to genetics?
Genetics to some extent. Genetics, what it does is it'll give you a framework. The speed of there can be stress points that can trigger that speed that can basically ensure that when it starts. And that can be stress, that can be quality of nutrition.
Right.
And primarily in my mind, these two.
Right.
And
a lot of people talked about COVID playing a role, and a lot of people are speculating vaccines, and that has accelerated some autoimmune triggers. Is that true?
That's another form of hair loss called telogen effluvium.
Okay.
What it does
that's like a tongue twister.
Yeah, so it is slightly.
Yeah.
So telogen effluvium, what it does is that it is a hair loss which is coming from lack of nutrition. Essentially, it is overall hair loss. It's called diffused hair loss, that if I pull from hair, I'll also have hair loss. If I pull from hair, I'll also have hair loss.
Right.
So this is very commonly seen after any significant illness.
Okay.
So if you, for example, today have dengue,
right,
maybe after 3 months, you will have severe hair loss.
Because immunity goes down and your body becomes weak, is it?
Your hair grows in cycles. So when this period of dengue, you'll actually start noticing hair fall for after 3 months.
Achha.
Because that hair takes 3 months to sort of grow and start noticing, अच्छा अब ये बाल जो डेंगू के टाइम पे होगा ये कमजोर है क्योंकि उसको न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिला है, then it'll start breaking. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So which is what I think a lot of people notice.
It's not COVID. It could be any
illness. Yeah. It could be any major illness, and you will find the same effects that after 2 to 3 months, when that hair growth cycle comes to that level where hair starts growing, which got nutrition at that point when you were ill, you will start facing hair loss. But this is temporary, in most cases.
But tell me this, Arpit, I think you have 21 clinics, right? Yeah. You're present across how many cities?
We're in 5 cities, right?
5 cities, right?
Yeah.
You must have dealt with lakhs of people.
Yeah.
Right? Is that true?
Yeah.
And I think, so have you seen any changes in how, let's say, people have started dealing with this hair loss over the years, because you've been around for 20, 30 years, you're saying your practice has been around. You've been actively running this business for over a decade, right?
Yeah.
You told me.
Yeah.
So what has been your experience with regards to how people deal with this situation in 2023 versus what maybe was the situation in 2018 or something like that?
So, I feel one of the ways that people are a lot more transparent amongst themselves.
Okay.
I mean, back in the day, we had a few clients which would actually also not share with their better halves that they were going through treatments, and they wanted to keep it that much of a secret.
Right.
Today, one thing that's also changed is people are open about it, that yes, I have gone through a hair transplant.
Right.
And this is what it is.
Right.
And that I think comes from the fact that there have been a lot more endorsements for hair transplant.
Right.
So
celebrities
are doing it. So
quite open about it. A lot of people know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's there. And also one thing that has changed is people have started shaving their heads. That was not a thing.
Being bald is in.
Yeah, being bald is in.
Yeah.
Earlier it was only the Hindi movie villain who was completely bald.
Yeah.
Now you have a Dwayne Johnson, you have Diesel, you have all of the top guys who are actually completely shaving their heads.
Yeah.
So that's another cultural change that's happening, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
People are embracing that rather than thinking that they'll have to go ahead and opt for a treatment.
Yeah. I mean, it's individual choice.
Yeah,
you want to undergo treatment?
Exactly.
By all means. But if you don't want,
of course.
So you're saying the other side is also becoming equally acceptable. Yeah. I mean, that's very interesting, because I think you're so right. And I think now that you mentioned this, I'm trying to think of some people who I know who just decided to shave their heads because they're like, hey, we don't care, right? Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. So amongst the line of treatments and clinical treatments, you talked about a hair transplant. Yeah. But I think there are also hair patches. Yeah. And I think Berkowits does. Yeah.
So Berkowits, interestingly, was the pioneer for this treatment. I mean, we introduced this technology in India back in 1988. So hair patch, is one of our we were the first in the country to actually go ahead and start doing it in India.
Wow. In 1988.
Yeah.
Well, that's long.
That's a long time.
Okay. So tell our viewers, what is the difference between these two?
Yeah.
And why should somebody choose A versus B?
Yeah, sure. So a hair transplant is a surgical process where hair roots from one part of the scalp, which is generally the back, is taken and then implanted in wherever it needs to be implanted, mostly in the front.
And multiple, let's say...
Yeah, so it's like basically shifting a pot from one pot to another, like a plant from one pot to another.
Right.
The hair root remains the same, just like the placement has changed. So this is a surgical process which happens over 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours.
To be performed by a surgeon.
By a surgeon. And then it takes about, your hair will start growing in maybe, you will start seeing signs across around 4 months. And the complete result you'll start witnessing around 8 months.
So what do people do for those 4 months?
I mean, they, so any signs of you having a surgery disappear within the first 15-20 days.
Okay.
So then you can go about your normal life.
Right.
But for the first 14-15 days, I mean, depending on your choice, you can go ahead and claim that, yes, I got a hair transplant done, or you can wear a cap, you can work from home, whatever you want.
Right.
So
after 15 days, it starts looking a little bit normal.
Yeah.
It just looks like you have like a crew cut.
Like you've just, just like shaved or you just trimmed your hair. That's what it looks like.
Got it. Okay. And is it painful? I think a lot of people talk about it. Is it performed under local anesthesia?
It's performed under local anesthesia.
Not general?
Not general.
Okay.
So it's a day procedure. It's performed under local anesthesia. It's technically you don't feel any pain.
Okay.
It's much safer than what it used to be earlier.
Right.
Because we've really been able to reduce the invasiveness of the surgery.
Right.
Instead of having any long cuts, we have like small punches where we extract each individual hair out and implant it. Yeah. So the healing time is also much lesser.
Right.
But yes, it is eventually a surgery, which you need to be careful about. You need to understand. You need to go through a few blood tests to understand whether you are the right candidate for it or not.
Is there a particular age group in which the results are good, or like what?
I mean, the younger you are, the better the results will be. But we've been able to see results for everyone that's gone.
And is this also a one-time procedure, or does it also require the same?
It does require maintenance, but hair transplant results are slightly more permanent. The reason for it is because, I mean, if you've noticed androgenetic alopecia, people don't lose hair between their ears.
Yeah.
So this part always has hair.
Always has, yeah.
So because we're extracting these hair follicles and implanting them, they're
likely
resistant to that DHT,
Understood.
the hormone that causes essential hair loss.
Right.
But yes, what we've realized is that it tends to change character over time.
Okay.
It tends to sort of start shrinking as well. So there has to be some kind of maintenance that is involved. Maybe once in 6 months, you go for a PRP session, or maybe not as some level of maintenance is still required, just to ensure that the same level of results continue.
Right. And what about patches?
Yes. So hair patches are non-surgical treatments. A hair patch is basically an artificial skin, which can be in the form of a lace, which can be in the form of maybe poly skins,
Right.
and which have hair knotted on them.
Right.
These hair are human hair,
Right.
which are generally taken from the temples of India, where hair is donated, like Tirupati. These hair are processed, and then they are knotted by hand on this lace or on this poly base, which is then attached to only the balding area, the bald area.
That specific area.
That specific area.
Okay.
So a wig, sometimes you mistake it with a wig. A wig is a complete cap that you wear over and above your head.
Put on a wig.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a hair patch or a hair skin or a toupee, as we call it, is only meant for that particular area where you have the baldness. It is then dermatologically attached with maybe using safe adhesives, bonds, or clips. So that's the idea. And the advantage over one treatment over the other is that, of course, one hair patch or non-surgical hair replacement, you will immediately see results. So if someone's on a deadline कि 3 दिन बाद शादी होनी है और आज बाल चाहिए शादी के लिए,
तो यही तरीका
है और कोई तरीका नहीं.
Right. But what about texture of hair? Like you have your own hair and you have hair from
So that is
some temple.
completely matched. That is completely
How do you do that?
So that's a part of the factory. The factory will process it in a way where the curl will also match, where the color will also match.
Right.
Where even a mold is taken of that current scalp, of the person's scalp, and that hair skin is created to that mold.
Wow.
So that's...
and this is not performed by surgeons. Right?
No,
this is like
not performed by surgeons. No, this is an art form in itself. This is not... Technically, they are not hairdressers. Technically, we call them hair technicians.
Hair technicians.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say from a cost perspective, right?
Yeah.
So how do the two cost structures compare with each other?
So a hair patch will start from maybe 10,000 rupees.
Right.
And go up till 60 or 70,000 rupees, depending on how natural you want it to look.
Right.
A hair transplant generally ranges between 50,000 to 80,000.
Yeah.
So the entry point of hair patches is much lower.
Right.
But yes, the more you can, there are some great looking hair units available, which are just impossible to detect that there's any fact that that's.
But are the patches safe? I mean, you said you use some adhesive, right?
Yeah, these are all dermatologically tested. So
and they're like they don't irritate your scalp, or like
there are multiple. We have hypoallergenic options.
Right.
We have all that research already gone into it.
Right.
Where we have all the options available. We have water-based glues. We have silicone-based. So there is.
Right.
We'll find the right fit for everyone.
Right. But a hair transplant, I thought, is also much more expensive, right? We've done hundreds of cases. Our customers use.
No, I think that's the beauty of being in India, because hair transplants can actually start from 40,000 rupees.
Okay.
And they go up till about 80 to 90,000 at Berkowits.
Right.
But yes, I mean, the average market price, depending on who you're getting it done for, can be also 1 lakh, 1.5, 2 lakhs for something.
Yeah. So some of these treatments are very expensive, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like, how have you? I mean, in terms of your experience, when people decide that which treatment should I undertake, what are the few deciding factors that you have seen people, consider?
Yeah. So I think one, definitely time.
So
if they're
patches win, hands down, because that's like a
second density. If you want a lot of density, you have to go for hair units or hair patches.
Okay.
Because hair transplants, eventually we get limited by where will we plant that hair, right?
Right.
So we can really pack it in, but still not give you the natural density that you were born with.
Right.
Third, natural look. I mean, I would say, of course, there is, because hair transplant is your natural hair.
Yeah.
It will still probably...
It's your own hair growing.
It's your own hair growing. So that will obviously something that people go ahead and choose hair transplants for. And then we have cost, like I said. If someone's not willing to spend that much money, they probably start with hair units.
Yeah.
The last I would say is fear of surgery.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have almost 90% of the people that I've seen go for hair transplant ask me questions like, will this affect our brain? Will everything be okay?
Yeah.
And even though we are not even penetrating the skull, the brain is inside the skull, we are like only on the scalp level.
Yeah.
But still the fears are very real. People actually are very apprehensive to go ahead and opt for a surgery.
So what do you think is needed for people to embrace these procedures a little bit more? And, how would you, what would you want in an ideal situation? What would you want the society at large to understand about, let's say, a hair transplant?
I think the first thing is better guidelines from the government.
Okay.
Because what it does is that it ensures that quality is being provided.
Because sometimes, not trained people have also been found indulging in these, which could be like
which was actually, we got guidelines for hair transplants about, I think, 6-7 months back.
Okay.
And that was a very welcome move.
Okay.
Because what it does now is that ensures that there is a level playing ground. It's not like that people who are untrained, who are just coming in to learn this, or who are not qualified are performing this surgery.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people could be doing this under the radar somewhere, and that can bring, let's say, a lot of problems for the industry at large and adoption of, let's say, these procedures, right?
So, and it does affect, obviously, people get a lot more concerned if there is a case somewhere,
right,
even remote, and that makes the news.
Yeah.
Whatever that, people will get concerned because of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's step one, and step two, obviously, is more education.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we try to be as open with our customers as we can, and we see that yes, this is the trend now. I think social media is going to play a big role.
Yeah, it is already playing. Yeah, I think a lot of people, if you see Instagram and Facebook, it is it is inundated with advertisements about hair.
Advertisements and even influencers, they've started talking about it quite openly. Yeah, and I think that makes, because they are also showing their journeys. Yeah. That yes, this is day one of hair transplant. This is what maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of celebrities are very open about it, and they say, hey, this is what I was, this is what I've become, who I've become, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, and we have seen this as we build SaveIN, right? A lot of people find some of these treatments to be extremely unaffordable sometimes, especially paying upfront. That expense, as you said, could also go into lakhs. Yeah. So, but now with the onset of availability of, let's say, on-demand credit, right? So how have you, experienced this and adoption of this credit in your industry?
I think we used it to ensure that clients get what they want. Yeah. A lot of the times we feel that a client wants a particular treatment but is inhibited by the cost.
Yeah.
And now we can actually provide them better results because we are not having to sacrifice on the treatment quality. Yeah. So if there is a combination treatment that a doctor is suggesting, and the client can be just given that option to maybe take it on credit rather than going ahead and opting for the lowest or the second lowest treatment. Yeah. So that's made our results better. Yeah. Because we've been able to include a lot more ways that we can tackle problems or diseases, and definitely clients also are a lot more comfortable. Yeah. They are. I think there is a new segment that is being added to this industry, who would earlier not have thought of getting their hair back. Yeah. Now know that it's maybe as less as 5,000 a month or 4,000 a month to just have hair on your head. Yeah. Which is cheaper than a mobile phone. Yeah. So now this is the first thing that people will see about you, and if it matters to you, then get that hair transplant.
That's such a wonderful point, Arpit, because I think what you mentioned, right? I think people, were apprehensive of surgical procedures and education about the procedure itself, and of course the cost, right? Yeah. And you said that there could be various gradations of these procedures, and if the doctor were to advise something extra, suddenly if there is money available, and you could make that decision a little more fearlessly. Yeah. Still being responsible about
of course,
who you are and what you want to avail and so on and so forth. But I think that availability of finance empowers people. Of course. Right? And I think that's what has happened in most segments where finance has been available. Yeah. Right? So I think in healthcare, we have seen that out-of-pocket expense for healthcare in India is upwards of 75%. And a lot of these treatments are anyway not diseases, right?
Yeah.
So they are labeled as elective.
Treatment.
So whether, I would want to opt for it, and somebody may want to remain bald, somebody may want to have a patch, somebody may want to have a transplant. But I think we've seen that the India of today is extremely discerning about the choices that they want to make, or they feel that they should be allowed to make.
Yeah.
And I think the India of today does not want somebody else to make that decision or impose that decision upon, basis your own, let's say, understanding of the matter. And I think that consumption-led mindset in personal healthcare and wellness and aesthetics, right? And I know you guys do a lot of work on skin as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's an emerging area.
Yeah.
And maybe, you can talk about that. And, we've seen, and in our interactions with thousands of, people who we have touched during the journey of building SaveIN, we've seen that that's becoming very apparent.
Yeah.
Do you see that change? People are just suddenly very confident. Sometimes.
No, of course. I think it's a sign of wisdom if you spend money on yourself before material things. Yeah. And that's the first step I think anyone should take in their lives, right? Yeah. Phone will not bring you that much happiness if your appearance or maybe your overall health will. Right. And definitely I think credit, any thriving economy will need credit in the market. They will need credit and consumption. Right. And it's great to see what you guys are doing. Yeah. I mean, we see this every day that people are able to opt for treatments that they otherwise would not have had. And maybe to them, it would have felt like कि life में कुछ फर्क पड़ रहा है. So वो अब, if they're able to act on it, that makes a whole world of a difference. No, but I think, hats off to you for having that mindset, because, when you're building a franchise, when you're building a business, I think you have to put you have to put on the business hat. Yeah. You have to put on the customer centricity hat. And I think what you talked about is extremely customer centric, right? Yeah. And everything comes at a cost. But if the customer wins, of course, if people get what they need, if people get what they want, if you can serve more people, I think that's what this country needs, especially in domains like these, right? Yeah. Because we are a country of 140 crore people, 1.4 billion people. Yeah. And, 80% of India makes less than 40K per month. Yeah. Right. So I think the dichotomy between being able to avail what you want to versus what you can afford, I think has been a big problem. But I think thanks for that. But walk us through the skin part, and before you walk to the skin part, maybe you discuss a lot of male pattern baldness. Yeah. What about the females? So female pattern hair, do they lose hair? They do, but to much lesser than men. And why is that? Because it's not a genetic element there. It's mostly nutritional. Okay. Can be genetic to some extent, but I mean works mostly hormonal or nutritional. Okay. That's female pattern baldness. And I mean it can, like mostly you will see that this will be either because of an iron deficiency. Okay. At times it could be a side effect of a thyroid as well. Right. And maybe post-pregnancy hair loss is there as well. Right. So the same treatments, thankfully, that we have for men, like which is the PRP, laser, they all work for women as well. So the same set of treatments. Yeah, but with some added focus on nutrition. Okay. So when we tend to do that, we see that the results are quite positive. Okay. Yeah. So are you also into nutraceuticals? Yes, we do. We do nutraceuticals. We have our own range of products. So our nutraceutical is called Grow. Grow. Yeah, okay. It's especially formulated for hair loss. And when did you launch this? So we launched our product range about 3 years back. Okay. So we have products for hair loss. We have products for dandruff, acne. I mean, the idea was to ensure that whatever actives we want in a product, they're available. And at the quantity that we want them at. So is this like contract manufacturing, or you do it yourself? This is mostly contract manufacturing, but the formulation is ours. Okay, all right. So you built this business over the last 3 years, nutraceuticals. Yeah, it's not just nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals is a part of it. Products. Yeah. So hair care products, skincare, and nutraceuticals. Yeah. So both like topical and something that you can ingest. So nutraceuticals would be the ones that we can eat, and we have gummies. Gummies, yeah. So we have gummies. I see a lot of gummies suddenly. Yeah, because they're so easy. The problem with nutraceuticals that everyone's trying to solve for is the habit. I mean, it'll only work if you take one a day, right? If you don't take one a day, it won't work.
Yeah.
So, but gummies are so tasty that you will probably take
instead of popping pills.
Yeah.
It's much cooler.
Yeah. Also, it's easily done. Like you can have it anywhere.
You can chew it, and
a lot of people have like a sweet craving after they eat.
Yeah.
So this can be your sweet craving.
Yeah.
You're solving two purposes.
Yeah.
So it's a good crack.
So do these things have sugar, or you have some substitute?
I mean, ours has, I think, about 4 grams of sugar or 3 grams of sugar, but we decided going against the artificial sweetener route.
Okay.
Because this much of sugar anyway doesn't matter. I mean, 2-3 grams will not matter to anyone, even though if you're on a diet or not.
Okay.
So they're with a little bit of sugar, but I mean, they taste very nice.
They taste nice.
Yeah, they taste nice. They're grape flavored.
Yeah.
They're like, we have one which is...
They're also strips, right? I mean, you have some strips and they just like melt in your mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've seen them in the market, yes.
Okay. So what are the categories of products that you have? Tell our viewers.
So we have, so how we've divided them is that we have a range called Protect. Yeah. So which is our sunscreens and which is our maybe, post-procedure creams. Then we have something called Clear. Clear is anti-dandruff and anti-acne. Then we have Nourish. Nourish is for maybe dry skin, dry hair. Grow for hair loss. And then we have Radiate, which is for skin brightening, skin glow. And then we have Renew, which is anti-aging.
Right. Anti-aging.
Yeah. So we have like multiple products under each category.
Right.
And
is there a big category divide between Ayurvedic formulations and, let's say, clinical formulations? Like, so market is split in half. And I think if you see all FMCG categories, toothpaste, like, if you see FMCG big wigs, they talk about, we need to take care of Ayurveda. A lot of, let's say, natural formulations suddenly have come in vogue. So how do you deal with that? How have you made your product choices, right? When you started building this SKU?
What we've seen is that we like to trust data.
Okay.
I mean, even if there is data around a naturally occurring
substance,
we will choose that active based on the data that there is. So that's been our primary understanding. I mean, we have like, for example, licorice extract in a lot of our creams, and that's based on data, even though it's a natural ingredient. And at the same time, we have alpha-arbutin maybe for skin brightening, which is a very clinically studied
formulation.
Yeah. So that's how we like to think about it. I mean,
data.
We would like to read articles. We would like to see what the studies have been, what is the sample size of the study, and whether there is, then test it. Then we'll call for samples based on the formulations. We'll test it in-house on ourselves, on our like people that we know, our own audience, and see if it works, and then go ahead and start building it.
Understood. So the skin experience of people, what are the skin, do you also provide some skin treatments?
So we have skin treatments. Let's first talk about laser hair removal or laser hair reduction.
Is that the most popular treatment? We hear about that a lot.
That's one of the more popular treatments, and also I think we like to put it in a category of itself rather than in the category of skin.
Okay.
Because this is permanent hair reduction. This is I think something anyone who's tired of whatever weekly, monthly beauty parlor needs to go ahead and just do this. I mean, what we've seen is that almost 50-50 ratio of men and women who are
50-50.
Yeah, you'll be surprised.
I thought that would be much more lopsided. No,
even I thought so, but I think that's primarily because we do have a lot of male clientele that is anyway walking in because of hair loss and hair transplant.
So you are able to, let's say,
they choose to go ahead with this treatment. Maybe it is lopsided for us, and in the market, like for other competitors, it's not as high.
Right.
But we see a 50% split between the genders.
Right.
And I mean, it's interesting that how people are opting for it, how something which is as painful like waxing or just like, people who are bothered about body hair can just go ahead.
These procedures are laser procedures.
Yeah.
And are they painless?
So there is a new technique which has made them much less painful than they were before.
Okay.
I would still not use the word painless. I mean, it's a marketing term because that's what people end up marketing it as. But I mean, it's a very slight discomfort, much less than waxing or threading will ever.
And this is one time, or does this also require maintenance?
This requires multiple sessions first. So you'll need about 6 to 8 sessions, and then maybe maintenance once a year, twice a year, depending on if your hormones are stable, then you won't need maintenance.
Right. And what are the emerging, trends you see in this industry? India, a young country,
Oh, definitely. So now,
fast-growing country that we are.
let's talk about skincare now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Interesting trends that I see is the rise in injectables. Injectables. When I say injectables, I mean Botox, I mean fillers.
Right, yeah.
Like everyone wants those, Kardashian pouts. Like that is so common now. We will have people walking in and say that I want those fuller lips. And there was a few TV shows that I was watching, one of them being on Amazon Prime, and I saw that the lead actress was just like, we can make it out, but it just felt like, and that's a great thing that people are opting for it. And fillers, Botox, that's something that's definitely on the.
Well, I think people are now very open about it. Like, it's my body, I want what I want.
100%, and that's how it should be. And also, one thing that we've seen is that the average age for these treatments has really dropped. Earlier, you would expect someone who's 50 plus to go ahead and get Botox done. But what's happening now is it's being used for enhancement. It's not being used for damage control anymore.
Right.
So if I, for example, I want higher cheeks, I just go get a filler done because then I'll get higher cheeks. So it's become like almost like people can opt for whatever look they want. I mean, if there is any shortcoming they feel that their body has, they can overcome that.
Yeah. And are these procedures safe? Tell our views about it. Again, there's a lot of, let's say, misunderstanding about what these procedures are.
So, of course, these should be always done by a doctor, a certified doctor, who's trained to do these injectables.
Right.
Any medical treatment will not be 100% without side effects.
Okay.
It's about who you're getting it done from and how much confidence does that person have. There can be certain complications that can arise out of any medical procedure, but they're a minority, a significant minority.
Right.
Fillers are basically hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring material in the body. What it does, it's basically a naturally occurring gel, which is injected into the place wherever you need lift or volume.
Okay.
And then that sort of tends to automatically dissipate in the body or disappear in the body after 6 months to 8 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
It takes that much time?
Yeah, but then it's a naturally, so it's like maybe let's see that this is already occurring in the body naturally. This is a gelling or
you're enhancing it.
You're just adding it at a particular point and then the body is absorbing it.
So there is a deficient portion where
there's non-deficient. Okay. You're just adding extra. You can probably say that.
Enhancing.
Yeah.
But you said it takes 6 months, right? So can your body reject it?
No.
It's a foreign substance.
Because it's already present in the body. So your body does not reject it.
And how do you produce that substance, underlying substance?
It's synthetically produced by companies like Illergan and Restylane, very famous across the world.
Right.
And they produce it, and then it's chemically similar to the one that we make in our skin.
Right. So you were saying that this is one of the most, let's say, sought after procedure.
Yeah, fillers definitely, yes.
Fastest growing?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Photofacials. Photofacials are basically facials that are conducted with a IPL, intense pulse light laser.
Right.
And what it does is that it tends to remodel the collagen of the skin, and it will give you a lot of glow. It will it has anti-aging properties.
Right.
And now
a lot of people eat collagen, right? I mean, powders, marine collagen.
So everyone now understands the importance of collagen.
Yeah.
Collagen is what's responsible for the plumpness of your skin.
Yeah.
So that is something that we also know is a sign of aging.
Yeah.
That you start losing collagen.
Yeah.
So collagen is, of course, one way you eat it. Whatever your body can digest, will digest. And the other way is that through these lasers, we tend to just disturb it a little bit so that it keeps regenerating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So these are photofacials.
These are photofacials. Photofacials are really gathering a lot of interest because.
So how much does a photofacial cost?
Oh, it starts only from 2,500 rupees per session.
That's very affordable.
As the maybe better than cheaper than a salon facial.
Oh wow.
Which is not medically researched at all.
And goes up to?
So that's the price. Standard price is 2,500 for a face, but it's a treatment that you can probably opt.
Does it produce immediate results, or does it produce results?
There is slight glow that one can observe right after, but then of course most of the results are long term.
Long term. Yeah. And again, you can keep getting them done at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
So okay, so we got, let's say, photofacial. We have fillers. What else, Arpit?
So then we have where we're trying to treatments where we treat indications. So we have something like for acne scars.
Yeah.
Then we'll have treatments for acne.
Right.
Pigmentation. So they'll be more indication oriented.
Yeah.
But if you were to talk about like completely elective in the sense of the name, that'll be the two that I would say. And then we have like a few one is called carbon facial, which is for tanning.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Stuff like that. But okay, you've been around in the industry for so long. And but what's your expectation from the industry? Like, where do you see this industry, let's say in the next 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So do you see that this is exploding?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I think within a span of the next 3 years, the industry is going to grow.
Okay.
We'll have a lot more new entrants coming in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more customers will also join.
Yeah.
So the industry is definitely going to grow. I mean, I don't see consolidation happening in the next 3 years, but let's see. Like if there is opportunity for any big brand to come in and take a chunk of the market share, then probably that might also happen in the next.
And is this for now? Does it continue to be an urban phenomena that you expect, or is it now, percolating to tier 1?
It's definitely percolating to tier 2, tier 3 as well.
Yeah.
And what my observation, however, is that there it's mostly led by local dermatologists.
Yeah.
Who have taken that charge, who have invested in the best of machines.
Yeah.
And they're giving that service in those cities and towns.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something interesting, right? So on SaveIN, we currently have partnered with almost 1,000 dermatology and hair practices. So it's an area that we at least see that Indians are super bullish about this segment.
Yeah.
And I think Indians, again, and I think the entire narrative is that my body, my terms, right? I mean, I don't want anybody else to decide for who I should be, what I should look like, and so on and so forth. At least in our humble experience, we have seen that there isn't a tremendous take-up rate in tier 1.
Yeah.
And probably tier 2 centers as well in some cases, because we have a lot of chains. So these chains have, like yourself, like you have 20 clinics. We have some chains which are, let's say, in more cities and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And non-metros.
Yeah.
Right? And we see that phenomena is coming. And I think you talked about awareness. You talked about availability of information and influencers and, let's say, social media, internet. So I think our humble assessment is that this is like really,
I
becoming prime time.
I agree with you. I mean, we opened a clinic in Raipur about 8 months back.
Raipur, yeah.
And we've had some phenomenal response to start with. And I think we have a few tier 2, tier 3 cities lined up as well.
Right.
Where we'll probably go soon, maybe this year. And that's where I think brands will also shift focus. They'll have to, because the metros anyway are getting too crowded.
Yeah.
There's too much competition here.
Yeah.
So maybe like the growth will come from smaller towns.
What is the most satisfying part of your journey as you're building Berkowits?
No, I think I am a guy who loves problem solving. I like to get deep into things, how they work.
Yeah.
So every
I
day,
can vouch for that.
every day I tend to have a new challenge, and that's something that keeps me going. Yeah, what's the next? How to solve this? How to solve that?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite bit. And of course, then researching on what the best treatment can be, where are the best machines available.
Right.
So again, I mean, that's something that I tend to enjoy doing. So I like to spend.
How's India faring, let's say, versus maybe Southeast Asia? Is that a more advanced market for these treatments?
So definitely, Korea is like
is the
it's the mecca.
Is the mecca?
Yeah. So and
looking good.
Yeah, looking good. It's like the highest number of plastic surgeries or cosmetic treatments or cosmetic shops per capita is South Korea.
Yeah.
And
K-pop is very popular now in India.
K-pop is very popular, and so is the term glass skin, which is actually a Korean term.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Seoul about last year, and it was just amazing to see the the kind of market that they have, the kind of products that they have.
Right.
And those products now are also coming to India. Those ingredients are also coming to India.
What are they doing different? What do you want to learn from, let's say, how Korea has served their population?
No, I think there's a lot of research. First of all, it's all indigenous.
Right.
It is on Korean skin.
Right.
So that sort of like speaks volumes. If they are testing an ingredient on that ethnicity and then showing results, that does not necessarily mean that it will work on India.
Yeah.
But sadly, we do not have the kind of research right now in-house.
Yeah.
So we are relying mostly on research that is conducted on Western skin or South Asian skin.
Yeah.
And then hoping that, yes, it also works on...
Which you think would change?
Should change.
Should change. But itni badi market hai, so people should invest in research.
No, it's actually, the problem is not that... it's technically not our job. It's the job of the pharma companies to come up with these researches and then build up actives and products for which are better suited to India. But I think as we become a bigger market, they will start doing that too. Right now, they're like, the only issue that I can see why it's not already being done is because we are not a big enough market, right?
Yeah, but in our research, derma and these treatments, it is fast moving. I mean, it is $1 billion plus market. Yeah. I think it's growing at 25-30% CAGR, right? Yeah. Compounded. So it is becoming very, very extremely mainstream. Yeah. It is becoming extremely popular as we've been discussing. And I think it's about time that, people, pharma companies you mentioned, right?
It will happen. I mean, it will, like we discussed, I mean, once the cost barrier is already out, accessibility is the next thing that we need to solve for. Yeah. And once we're able to solve for that, I think there are a lot of... So we have a talk to an expert segment on our website where you can go in and get a free consultation with a doctor. Yeah. And that doctor will send you a prescription which is suited to your skin, your hair. Yeah. And
is that free?
Yeah, that's free.
Wow.
So it's a free consultation that you can take.
You must be doing thousands of them.
No, we do them. Yeah, we do them. And the best thing is that we are not then limited by our centers. Yeah. We can actually access wherever, wherever we have.
They are. So I think I agree with you. So I think we are super bullish, we at SaveIN are super bullish about 3 aspects of healthcare. Yeah. One is accessibility, as you talked about. Mm-hmm. Second is quality. Yeah. And third is affordability. Of course. So I call this the iron triangle of healthcare. Access, quality, affordability is something that drives us. Yeah. And we believe that adoption of these treatments or procedures, whatever you want to call them, is directly proportional to these 3 attributes. Completely. If in my decision-making framework, if I can simplify access, quality, affordability, and I can make it very simple for people to make a decision, I believe adoption levels will explode because the underlying base of people that we have, the customer base, the population base that we have, multiply that with the aspiration level and the aspiration index that India is increasingly building, it becomes an extremely explosive and exponential kind of,
100%
setup, right?
I agree with you. Yeah. Completely. I mean, it's like any consumption-based industry. Yeah. I mean, I think this will explode too. Yeah. And we've been able to successfully bring down the price for it. Yeah. We've been able to improve affordability or even further by offering EMI programs. Yeah. So this will keep on increasing. I mean, more people will be accessing it. Yeah. As long as we are able to educate them
and perform these in a responsible manner.
In a responsible manner. Yes. As long as that there is a structure that governs this segment, we will definitely see growth.